Hi everyone, welcome to another episode. Today we're gonna discuss something that a lot of people have been asking the crypto community, and which is everything about airdrops. I know that a lot of you guys are interested in knowing more about airdrops and what are many of you don't really know what it is and how does it work, and what's the difference with the ICOs. So also for other guys that are listening to this that have a crypto project, and you have your own coin or you're planning to do that. So this is also an interesting session for you to understand the benefits of doing an airdrop, and if you should do it or not. So for that, I'm here today with Morten Christensen. Hi, Morten. Welcome. And he's the CEO and founder of airdropalert.com.
Hey Ryan, thanks for having me. I appreciate this opportunity. Always a fan of these interviews and podcast type things with founders, usually thought leaders in the industry. So we like what you're doing. Keep it up. And excited for this interview. Let's get to it.
Cool. So yeah, let's get to the point immediately. What is an airdrop actually?
An airdrop is actually quite simple. It's a digital marketing technique where users get something in return for social actions or tasks, mainly to spread awareness about the project.
Mm-hmm.
In the crypto world, this is in form of a token. You get a token reward. But in the real world, you see this every day. I don't know about you. I live in a big city in Rotterdam. Every day I walk down the street, I get a free sample of something. I get a small can of soda. In the summer, I'm getting spammed with ice creams in my face. You get these free sample of stuff, like try before you die kind of concept. That is actually an airdrop. These companies, they're giving away a free sample to create brand awareness, to get you to introduce to the project. And a small percent of people who get these freebies, they come back later as a customer or they become a user. So this is actually a marketing technique from the real world, introduced to crypto in form of a token. You get a token reward for things that you do.
So then, if I have a project and I have my own crypto or token, then as you mentioned, it would be a marketing technique to, like, as normal retailers run have freebies to get people to use their products, and then this would be like kind of the same, right? So then they get to experience your.
So a pure airdrop is where like Almost Go, where users did not have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you held Ethereum, you just got a surprise airdrop by Almost Go in your wallet. So that's a pure airdrop. Like I received Almost Go. I never heard about the project. I have this token in my wallet. I'm like, hey, what is this token? Is it worth anything? Checking coin market cap. Oh, it's a top 30 coin. What is this project about? And I start researching myself because I got the tokens. So that's already creating brand awareness just by giving away a small amount of tokens.
Yeah.
However, right now in the ICO world, they need some more exposure than just that. So they ask the user to complete a few social tasks. It's important to get the word out about their fundraising. So what they do is ask you to join their Telegram, follow them on Twitter, potentially retweet something to get a more viral effect.
Yeah, got it. Well, that's an interesting model, because you don't need to, especially a lot of projects don't have a lot of budget at the beginning. So then it's an interesting way to grow your community, get people actually to do something for your project and engage.
Yeah.
Without having to spend a lot of money up front.
Yeah, exactly. It's we like to call it proof of community. You're creating a community, and this I don't know. It's a bit of human behavior. You're more likely to join a channel if there's already 10,000 people in that channel.
Yeah.
Then if it's a group with 10 people, you're like, I'm gonna find one that has more people interested. So it's kind of like proof of community. You build a community to an airdrop, which will then have like another effect that other people are more likely to join.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good point. Whenever I go to a group or a forum and to read something and then nobody has commented on that, then yeah,
Yeah, you leave, you don't come
yeah,
back. Yeah.
exactly. Maybe we can discuss also the differences for the ones that don't know it about between both the ICO itself and the airdrop.
Oh yeah, I can do that. An ICO is an initial coin offering, and usually they offer you a coin in exchange for an investment. So they're looking to fund their project, and that's why they are selling some coins to fund their project. But an airdrop, you get it for free. They might ask you to do some social things, but you don't need to invest any money. You're getting it either completely without any job, or you need to do a few social tasks. So the difference is money.
Yeah, exactly. And is it also in your experience, have you seen like projects doing both? Is it complementary as well, or?
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah.
We see actually the majority of ICOs now conducting an airdrop. There's especially in 2018 Q1 and Q2, there was an influx of ICOs, and to stand out, everyone was doing an airdrop, or let's not say everyone, but the majority was doing an airdrop, and we still see that today. Most of the ICO marketing agencies, they offer airdrop as a standard thing in their marketing, because they see the positive effect this has on projects and the community. So in the ICO world, we see the majority of projects conducting an airdrop just to get the community building going. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Maybe now that you were talking about like the benefits, actually, we can get a bit more in depth into that. What would be your let's say we just meet in a meetup, and I tell you, Morten, I have this project, and I'm looking to do an ICO late somewhere in 2019. But I'm thinking of running an airdrop as well, but I don't know what the benefits, like what would you say are the top three, or like the most important things they should understand?
Yeah, this is funny actually, because a year ago, this was the question every ICO would ask me.
Yeah.
I had hundreds of calls with different CEOs explaining them the benefits about airdrops, and I had a whole routine going. But now the last 6 months, everyone, or the ICOs at least, they already know the benefits. So we skip that whole part of the call, and they go straight to the facts and figures. So let me get back in my memory. If I would say the three key benefits is number one, brand awareness or exposure. You get the word out immediately to a lot of people. The other one is wide distribution. And ICO usually has a very limited amount of investors. Even if they raise millions, it could be less than 500, sometimes less than 200. I mean, the BET ICO last summer, it got sold out in 5 minutes by 10 people, I think. So if you have a project and you have 10 people holding your tokens, who's going to use your tokens? And who are the people coming to your project? It's a difficulty at that point. Exchanges also want to see wide distribution, because if you have 200 token holders, if a token gets listed on exchange, there will be no trading volume. So a wide distribution has multiple advantages, but it's important. Project needs, I would say, a minimum of 20,000 wallets to distribute after ICO. So at least there's multiple people knowing about, multiple wallet holders, multiple possible traders,
That's a very good point, because then yes, we all know, like if you have if you run an ICO afterwards, you're gonna have to go and then list in an exchange, and then those exchange will ask you precisely for this: how big is your community, or how engaged is your community, how many wallets have your coin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you have 10 people holding your tokens, who's gonna trade them? There will hardly be any volume. So wide distribution is definitely important. And last one is proof of community. I think community is very important, not only in crypto, in any business, really. Daily active users. Facebook is one of the biggest companies in the world just because of their daily active users. You need a big community. So proof of community is the third one. Yeah.
Interesting. Now that you were talking about, like, maybe we can get more into the how to, and then maybe we can split it into, like, for how to find, for the people that are looking to, like, be like for the airdrop hunters.
Yeah,
And
I like that name.
and for the airdrop, issuers or the projects behind.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm looking to be involved into and do some tasks in return for an airdrop, what are the best places to go, and what are the kind of tasks that you have seen they have to do?
Okay, so for the user, yeah, obviously I have to say airdroplure.com is the best site to find airdrops.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we have a strict due diligence team. We want to make sure we list legit projects. So we take care of our users. We reject a lot of projects. We also list the rejected projects on the unverified airdrops with the reason why they rejected. So if you're a user and it's an airdrop we don't list, you can check that list. Mm-hmm. You can see why we rejected the project. Unverified airdrops doesn't mean that the project is a scam. We just couldn't identify it enough to be sure it's safe for a user. Yeah. And a user can still decide if they want to join in or not. Mm-hmm. There's multiple social medias out there that promote airdrops. Actually, a bunch of crypto news sites are also listing airdrops now, because they see that it's a great way for people to get introduced to crypto. Yeah. I always explain it as a very low risk barrier into crypto. I've been explaining crypto to people since 2013. Everyone is worried what happens with my wallet. I have to explain the private and public keys. And now it's become fairly easy. I just say, you know what? Join a few airdrops. You get the tokens for free. If something happens with your wallet, you're losing your free tokens. So people can go to the beginner steps while collecting airdrops. Yeah.
So, especially if you add that to like, I definitely see there's a lot of value in websites like airdrop.
Alert.com.
Alert.com. So I keep on forgetting the name. Sorry. Because then you want to see that there's first a lot of projects in one place. There's an aggregation, and second also that there's a team looking behind those projects. So also you don't waste your time doing tasks and then it was a scam or something like that.
So all of our projects undergo a due diligence process, usually of minimum 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. We have 2 or 3 people looking at every project to make sure there's no mistakes being made. Mm-hmm. We listed about 2,500 airdrops now in 1.5 years, but we rejected more than that. So there's been over 5,000 airdrops in the past 18 months.
And do you see like more projects? Is there any like geolocation that is like you see more projects coming from, or like more Asian projects, or is it just like?
It's a good question. I think like recently we see more European. Like there's an uptick in European projects. I think because Malta is becoming regulatory friendly. So a lot of these crypto companies, they move to Malta, or at least they say they move to Malta and have everything set up there. So we definitely see an uptick in European ones. I still deal with a lot of USA projects. Often they're not based in USA, but the team is from USA. Yeah. But you see some exotic projects too, where they are based in the island of Man or Belize or. Yeah,
Gibraltar.
The tax-friendly countries.
Yeah, exactly. And now, actually, maybe we can go to the other side, more to the projects themselves, the ones that want to run. How is the process for them? And then maybe we can also use that as a segue on why they should also consider on doing it on place like your site, where they can actually have more exposure, or like in short, like if I'm a project, what's the next step if I want to start doing an airdrop?
All right, there's a couple of things. There's a lot of ICO marketing agencies. They offer airdrops in their packages. So like Mazy Community Management is one big ICO marketing company. Airdrops is one of their specialties as well. So they manage the campaign for you. Another one is they do it in-house. So projects can, like a year ago, we saw a lot of projects just making a Google form, collecting all the information, and then trying to distribute. We see that less and less now because before projects underestimated how much work it is to manage the community that's coming in, to do the data verification, to make sure everything's legit.
Yeah.
And then also handle the distribution. So we see more and more companies outsourcing it. So one is to find a marketing agency that does airdrops. The other one is we do it as well. Last year we started hosting the airdrop campaigns. We did about 50. I think our biggest one is Shivom and BRD. Both of them had about 50,000 people joining, and the ICOs raised a lot of money. Both of the projects are doing fairly well now as well. So it's a service we provide as well if a client is looking for it.
Cool. And do you also do you go through the whole KYC? I saw that also on your website, something related to that. Maybe you can speak a bit of that, because something is a big pain in the neck for somebody that wants to start doing an airdrop.
Exactly. Yeah. So one of the so our team, we're always looking on like what are current regulations, what can future regulations be. So we're thinking. Our thought is that most of the countries, as you already know probably, they see any token as a security. So we're waiting on like a final verdict on it, if it's going to be utility or a security. If, however, all tokens will be a security, we're doing everything in our power to make sure that we will be compliant on that front. That's why we implemented KYC as well for the airdrops. We're using Civic as our partner, and they are a KYC company that specializes in the crypto niche. This way, if you KYC with Civic once on a crypto project, you will be KYC'd for all projects partnering with them. It will be as simple as scanning a QR code. So I agree, for a user, it's kind of annoying. Like you want to join airdrop, you have to go through the KYC process. However, if you do it with us, you will be like KYC'd for multiple airdrops. So you're not doing it for one, you're doing it for all our future airdrops that we host ourselves. Mm-hmm. And you're doing it for all projects that use KYC by Civic. Yeah. The Civic has a partner page which has like 100 crypto companies. So the meaning that if you KYC for our airdrops with Civic, you'll be good for all those projects as well. It's just like QR code done. So that's why we choose them.
So Civic is like the most, for what I've seen, they're like one of the most, or if not the most known KYC provider in the crypto niche.
Yeah, in crypto for sure, for sure. We used MyTech before, which is also used by Dutch banks like ABN. Mm-hmm. However, we switched to Civic just because they are crypto focused, which could benefit our users.
Cool. Interesting. Yeah, it makes sense. Also, then you never know where and it's also good for the projects themselves that they have this verified
users. Exactly. Yeah. We also KYC the clients as well. So for the users, they also know that we KYC the ICOs as well. Oh, yeah. And if they don't want to KYC, we just mention it in our listings. Like this team did not complete our KYC process. Mm-hmm. So this is also something that a user can see if a project is going through this process or not. The main point is just in this crypto space, you have to look out for regulations, what is coming, what is current. Try to be open for negotiations. Like if government officials want to come by our office, like we're incorporated in the Netherlands, our address is all over the place, so they can just knock on our door and we'll sit down and discuss the future of the industry. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Maybe just one more thing in that, and then maybe we can go towards the end and discuss a bit of the part of security tokens, and then how does a airdrop work in that new sphere. But just one other thing related to the process of creating the airdrop. How does it work on the distribution side? Is it do you guys also manage the distribution? Well, you mentioned at the beginning that you also manage the distribution for the client, or they use your platform and then they can distribute from there? So everything that happens on the Ethereum network requires gas. So if you distribute to 50,000 people, that's a lot of ether being burned.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why we offer the clients, we offer them a smart contract. We have it ready. Multiple clients use it. So we offer them a smart contract to distribute the tokens. They're free to use it themselves. What we see now is a new type of smart contract where a project lets the user pay for the gas themselves. So basically you put your tokens in a contract, a user sends 5 cents of gas to the contract to claim that tokens out. Again, this is a small inconvenience for the users since they're paying 5 cents to get their 100 or 1,000 tokens or whatever the airdrop amount was. But it saves tremendous amount of money for the project.
Yeah, that's a very good point, especially for the projects that are like really early stage that don't have, they haven't got any investment at all.
Exactly, you have to watch that burn rate.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know if you're gonna be around in the next 2 months. You don't want to be minus 50,000 or something like that.
No, exactly.
So that, yeah, it's a very good point. So now talking about like where everything is moving also is we have heard a lot about security tokens that are coming in, that maybe like a lot of the utility will become securities, but also securities on itself, it's also growing a lot. Can those security tokens offerings run also an airdrop as the same way that ICOs did?
We believe that if we verify the things that we already verify, that it is possible. So we are KYCing users plus clients, that they're verified versus some government lists like AML, adverse media, and like 20 other lists. So on both sides, we know users plus clients are clean. We have a strict due diligence teams walking through everything. We're trying to talk with government officials to see where the space is going, and we're open for conversations. So right now, there's not a strict saying yet on how this will work, but we're open to talk with anyone to see if we can make this work.
Cool. Yeah, that's very interesting, because especially also that it's another avenue for growth for blockchain projects as well.
I think it's the best way to get people into crypto. Like, the best way to get users, offer them something for free. So if you have a mother or a cousin interested in crypto, they don't want to buy it. Show them how an airdrop works.
Yeah, exactly. So for everybody that is listening to this or watching this, and you have not pulled the trigger yet because you don't want to lose money, you just want to get to grips and understand how everything works with the wallets and all that part. Yeah, this is a great way to start. The risk is almost nothing for you. It's just a win, and you get to learn more. And also, then you never know if there's if you run a few, if you participate in a few airdrops, you never know which one will. Maybe some will grow a lot also.
We saw that a lot last year in the bull market. We saw some crazy airdrops having a value you wouldn't believe. But now in the bear market, it's obviously different.
Yeah, exactly.
My colleagues told me Ether 133. I was like, what's going on? But that's also not good for the airdrops, of course. Like, these are startup projects. If Ether's going bad, a coin will struggle to perform well. But
exactly.
I always tell the users or people in my office, like, keep collecting the airdrops. As soon as the market turns around, you're basically holding almost lottery tickets. Like, because some of them might be worth something, some of them don't, and then if they don't become worth anything, you still learn the process of making a wallet, making an exchange account to sell your airdrops. You're still going through the beginner steps everyone needs to go through.
Yeah, exactly. So at the moment that you buy Bitcoin or Ether or something like that, you know how the process goes. And then, because we all had it, like the first times you do that, and then you transfer from one wallet to the other one, and just waiting and waiting. Shit,
I remember the stress of my first transaction. Why is this block not going through? What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much for clarifying everything and tell us more about the world of airdrops. And maybe just to close, is there anything else that we haven't discussed that you would like to mention?
Yeah, I would like to say that right now airdrops is mostly used by ICOs, so startups that are looking to get exposure in the beginning. However, last week Stellar Lumens did an airdrop, or I have to say Stellar, I believe. They are a top 5 coin with a market cap of 4 or 5 billion. They are doing an airdrop of 125 million USD with blockchain.com. So what I believe that we're going to is established projects still want to build a large community and using the airdrop technique for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's also what we're hoping for, but also seeing more established projects starting doing airdrops, which is good for the user because it's going to be less variance. Some of the projects, if it's an established coin, it's a higher chance that it maintains the value it has or goes up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a very good point actually for all the projects that are out there that are planning also to keep a big reserve for of the tokens, so then they can actually use them for marketing actions in the future when they're bigger also.
Yeah, exactly. So one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
Ryan, if you're an ICO and you want to do an airdrop, just contact us. We'll make sure everything goes well. And then I just would like to thank you, Ryan, for this opportunity. It was a fun talk. I haven't explained the benefits of airdrops in a while. And
yeah,
next time you're in Rotterdam, just hop by here.
Yeah, sure. No, thank you for the time to walk us through because I didn't know also much, and then I know that a lot of people in crypto have heard but have not really stopped for a while and then read or watch an interview about airdrop. So thank you for sharing your knowledge about it.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hope to see you in Rotterdam soon.
Yeah, I'll try to go to Rotterdam somewhere at the beginning of 2019.
All right. Nice.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you very much, and thank you all, guys. And I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.